6 iron still.
6 iron.
Figured stick with it for now.
Sounds good. Closed. Have you gotten out and played at all, or just practiced?
No, just practice. Haven't with my son's birthday was Monday.
Okay.
So was doing that, and then the guy I normally play with, because a lot of my buddies don't have a, they all work a Monday through Friday type of job. Where
Gotcha.
my schedule, I'm lucky and I can go play on a Tuesday morning or Thursday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the one guy I normally play with, he's been out of town. His son just graduated from the Air Force.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
And so I haven't gotten the chance to get out in the past few weeks. But
Well, I don't even know if there's a golf course to play around here right now.
I was going to say, it's like I bet, because you was talking about last time how Silverado was flooded, and I was like, well, I'm sure now
It's probably even worse, and it's probably going to get even more worse as the days kind of go on with all the water flowing down our way.
Yeah.
About 5 more shots here. Take a video of it. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten more warnings and buzzer things going off my phone than I have in the last day or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a look at this. Come on. Now, one thing I kind of noticed just a little bit when we were or what I kind of saw here is I want to kind of hone in on this right foot a little bit.
Okay.
It seems like it's not kind of going all the way down the line. It's kind of like one of these, like you kind of have it like this, but it doesn't really kind of release all the way through.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to take a look at our arm structure just a little bit. I think what's happening just a little bit is our left arm is kind of breaking down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at it.
Yeah, right there.
All right, so you can see that a few things that we start to notice with this shot right here is that, yes. So with this shot, you can see that our left elbow is starting to break down.
Mm-hmm.
You see how our face is pointing up towards the sky.
Yeah.
That's going to be a real shut club face. Face angle at impact was about -3, so it means that we're getting a real shut club face, and that's probably because as we get here, we're letting that thing kind of flop up and the face is really close,
Mm-hmm.
and as we come through, we're kind of throwing that thing. Now, the other thing that I kind of noticed here just a little bit was our path was usually to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a little bit of an over-the-top move that we're kind of making.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can see that as we pass through here, we have this, what we call this chicken wing. You see our left arm kind of breaking down here just a little bit here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then as you can kind of see, all right, when we look at Brooks, you can see that a lot of that weight is really transferred away
Off that foot.
Off that foot. He's on the toe. Everything, probably 95% of his weight's in the left heel right here. Where I'd say yours is probably more towards the front foot here as you kind of lunge through. Does that make sense a little bit? Okay. So if we can get this hip to kind of move a little bit more in an efficient manner, right?
Yeah.
Instead of kind of doing one of these to get through and
Get it
kind
to
of more
rotate.
rotating
Yeah.
through, then we'll get that weight to transfer back over there. But let's start at the beginning. All right, take a look at our setup first. All right, so a few things I'd like to kind of see here with the setup here. You see how the arms are kind of soft here a little bit. See how he's making this V a little bit. Okay, so you kind of get on in here and it's kind of broken down like this a little bit, right? Want us to kind of get the pockets of our elbow kind of more pointing out.
Okay.
Okay, so if I was trying to rock a baby or something like that, it would be more this motion instead of kind of like this.
Okay.
Does that make sense
Yeah.
a little bit? Okay, so that would be the first part we want to kind of work on for today. Okay. Good job with the backswing, good shoulder turn, okay? From where we were last week, good shoulder turn. We just need to keep those arms or hands feeling like they're as far away from our ear as possible.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the feeling that we want to have. So for us, it's going to feel like it's kind of more short and wide than kind of getting long and loose. Does that make sense? Okay, that's the first part there. All right, so at this point, we just really need to start getting the chest to kind of rotate a little bit more. So you can see at this point right here, you can see Brooks's chest is kind of more out this way, where yours is kind of tucking in like this. So we want to make sure that as we swing out towards the right, we're going to have extended arms. If I get over the top and make this motion, you can see my arms can fold, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make room for my arms to pass and have my chest stop. So I just kind of do one of these.
Okay.
Does that make sense
Yeah.
a little bit? Okay. So go ahead and set up real quick for me. Okay. And now the last part is making sure that we get that follow through. But I think if we kind of get the other parts going, that should
Follow.
start to come.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of start with our setup just a little bit. So I want to feel like pockets of our up here. Not dead straight, but yeah, better. Okay, good. Now we gotta work on that thumb, right? There you go. There you go. Good, good. So I'm gonna give you just a little, I'm gonna have you just kind of reach just a little bit for me. There you go, okay? All right, good. So that's a pretty good setup right there. You can see that our arms are making a nice V right here, okay? And not starting to get away. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as we kind of take this club back, just kind of bring it on back for me. Right, good, good, good. So what I'm gonna have you do, here, I'm gonna hold your chest. Okay, push against my hands. There you go. You feel how wide we are right there?
Yeah.
That's as far back as you really need to go right there, partner.
Okay.
Okay, you're a big, strong guy. You don't need to take it way back over here like John Daly.
Okay.
Okay? Right, so if I get you right there, and just feel like you kind of swing down and through on that point. Alright, so as we come through, right, I want to feel like we got our arms more in this position, right here, and you can see that my arms are extended.
Yeah.
Right, so if I can get you to swing more out towards the right here, it should keep our arm structure more out in front of us. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right, so it's gonna be like this, kind of help you come through the follow through here, right? So just come here, good. If I get you right here, boom, gotta loosen up those wrists just a little bit, right? Because we're gonna have a little bit of some lag, right? As I get through, boom, boom. Feel how we are right there? Yeah. Okay. Keeping those arms extended. Okay. Okay. So for right now, to kind of get that point down, because I want to make sure that we get our follow through down first. Okay. I want us to just kind of swing to where we feel like it's about rib high or hip high.
Okay.
We feel like we're maintaining that structure out in front of us as we come through. Okay. Yep. Yep. It's not very glamorous, not very sexy, but it is the heart of the swing. Very good. And try to make it feel like that right hip's turning back behind you and not going to the side. Does that make a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit like that, right? We want to feel like we're rotating behind. Yeah. Here we go. Better. Good. Better. All right. There you go. So, go one more time. Okay. Go ahead and yell. Come on through. There you go. Okay. Feel how all that weight's getting into your heel now? Into your left heel? Okay, that's where we want to kind of be. That's going to allow your hips to rotate a little bit more to get that chest moving, get our arms moving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, give me about 3 more, please. Okay, try to get that knee going down the target line for us again. Better. One more, and I want you to take a break for just a second. Okay. Take a break for just a second. Let that kind of sink in just a little bit. Any questions right there?
No. It makes mechanically it makes sense, like
Yeah.
on why, you know, when you transfer it, like, you know, same thing we talked about last time, like with your backswing. It's like you're coiling up a spring.
Absolutely.
And this, you know, transferring your weight it's like a transfer momentum and power.
Yeah.
You know, everything else. So makes sense mechanically.
Yeah.
Then it's just implementing it.
Absolutely. So if I told you to go, you know, and this is a great way to kind of do it, and it's just a different way of thinking about it. If I just kind of take this from you and I grab that, and I want you to just kind of step and throw that ball into the screen. A lot of the mechanics that you do automatically that we've learned as kids growing up, we just need to kind of implement that into golf.
Yeah.
So go ahead and step forward and throw that in there. Alright, so you see where your weight is right there?
Yeah, it's up here.
Okay, so you can see that as we kind of go, right? Once again, kind of feel like you're skipping a rock. Right? You see how that weight's transferring as we go through? That's exactly what we want to kind of do, right? So it's just kind of, you know, as we come through, boom, right? Letting all that weight transfer all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay? So I want you to just give me a couple swings, and I just want you to kind of imagine that feeling that you just had when you threw that golf ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Nice movement pattern right through there. Good job. So you can probably now feel that the club is passing past us a lot more quickly, right?
Yeah.
Instead of kind of like everything kind of, hey, I've got to hold everything back because I'm going to hit the ball.
Yeah.
Now it's just swinging through.
Right. And then I can feel a big difference too in more so, it makes sense, swinging the club more so than trying to muscle the club through.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because our speed or our distance is going to come from our speed.
Right.
Right? It's not going to come from our power.
Right.
Right? And unfortunately, you know, I'm sure you play baseball, I play baseball. What is the one thing they all tell us, right? Hit on the back foot.
I never played baseball.
Okay, well, when I would, for hours they'd have me, and you got to load up on that back foot, you got to tilt away, and you've got to get your shoulders open, right? I mean, it's just one of those things that it takes years because it's a muscle memory thing to get to the point where I want to kind of keep my shoulders kind of closed, but then rotate and get to my left side.
Yeah.
So it just, as we kind of work on that pattern, it kind of comes through.
Yeah.
That's most of the time when I deal with people with baseball, softball, or anything like that. Is that or field hockey? That's the other one. Is because of like that. You know, so getting that to kind of once they start transferring that weight, it starts to click.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Let's hit a few balls here and see how we do. Any questions right now?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's just kind of instead of having a lot of swing thoughts, let's just try to implement that feeling. Okay. I like the movement pattern there with the feet. Good job. Would you say you got a 6-iron there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like it probably a little bit more further back in our setup, just a little bit. There you go. Good. Good. Right, that's a 286, right? Pretty good, you know, for where we're trying to go. That's our cone of zone, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? Path is just a little bit to the left, which is okay. pretty good stuff right there from what I'm seeing from prior to now. Oh, look at those numbers. Oh. Hmm.
I felt that in my arms.
Right? Did you feel kind of the arms kind of crunched up?
Yeah.
All right. So, as I used to tell some of my students, right, I want you to kind of feel like there's a big net or a circle up here, and we want to kind of swing up to this area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Club path was good. I like that we're swinging a little bit out to the right, which if I kind of maybe take a look here, maybe we don't have so much alligator arms as we come through. That's what I'm hoping for here.
Still breaking that left elbow.
Still breaking that left elbow a little bit, right? Okay. Getting a little bit of a sway going here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see where our hips started.
Yeah.
Right? That's where they kind of start at, right here at the beginning. And we're kind of swaying probably every bit of maybe 6 inches or so. Okay, so we want to try to get that feeling of rotating behind there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there. Chicken will kind of come through just a little bit on us there. But, okay, let's keep working on it. So what I want us to kind of do here for the next couple of shots here, okay? I don't want a full swing, okay? I want us to kind of work on from about hip high to hip high, and I want us to feel like we're hitting punch shots.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to keep our left arm straight back over here, getting to impact with that transfer, and then trying to feel like we're maintaining that structure out in front of us, way out in front, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's just try to hit, you know, maybe 5 or 6 punch shots and try to get a feel for that arm structure, okay? One more good one. See how our arm structure's doing. Good. Right? So that's probably a lot longer than you think it is. Right?
Yeah.
Probably what you probably thinking you're just taking it hip high, right?
Yeah.
Right? So feel versus real, right? So that's probably more of where our swing needs to kind of be.
Okay.
Right? If I kind of got you to kind of take it up just a little bit more and get that shoulder turn going, but you can see that we're keeping our left arm structure in a good place right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We still got a little bit of a lateral slide going on, so we got to get working on that. Okay? But let's see how we do the follow through. Okay? Better. Okay? Much better. Right? Not perfect by any means, right? But better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I like how we've got kind of this short little swing going on here, very much like John Rahm. Okay. So, One thing we need to kind of work on just a little bit with you here, right? Because we can see that lateral sway, right? We're going to have a little bit of some movement away from the target to get us kind of going, right? A little pull, but we don't want to start kind of letting that train get off the track, right? And once I kind of get here, then it's really easy to kind of do this, and then I got to kind of step and plant a little bit. So let me see if I can. I took that device. Things around here, and I think people just let me see if I got my car. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get you kind of something where you're going to brace up against your foot, underneath your foot, to get you to cradle that right side. Did we do that before?
No.
Okay. Alright, well, got to come up with plan B here. Plan B. Alright, so go ahead and set up for me. I'm going to kind of do this instead. Alright, so lift up your foot here for me. Okay. So we're going to put this just on the outside of your foot right there, as much as I can. Usually I have a chalk block that I stick right under there. Alright, so what I'm going to have you do is we're going to take the club away. Oop, yep. Alright, so go ahead and put the club across your chest. Okay. Go ahead and get your posture for me, please. Okay. So, if we kind of kick in our right knee just a little bit, just a smidge, right, to kind of work on this feeling. Now I want you to kind of turn, give me a turn, backswing, right? You feel how you're loading into that right side now?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the feeling that we're trying to go for right there.
Okay.
Okay. You can see in the video here. I don't think you stuck in the hole. Alright, so watch our hips here as we kind of go. Right, so what we're trying to eliminate is this lateral slide that we're doing right there. Okay, so what we should feel, right, as I kind of go, if I had a line right here on the crack of my rear end, right, as I go, or you can see my pocket right here, it's going to go towards the target. Okay? Right now, yours is going away from the target. Okay? So we want to kind of have that feeling as I turn that my right pocket here is going toward the target.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So why don't you go ahead and set up and just try to get that into your mind. So you can kind of get this guy right up across your shoulder. There you go. Good. Okay? Yeah. Right? Okay? So let's take a look at this guy. Okay. Now see you're doing a good job with your rotating your hip, but you don't need to throw your chest over so much.
Okay.
Okay. You just need to kind of let it turn. Good. Okay, but you see how you're starting to stretch your chest over just a little bit? We just want to kind of go down a little bit and get that load right there. Okay? So you can see the difference between that guy and this. Right? We haven't even gotten that turn in there yet. Right? Okay, so I want you to kind of work on that just for a second and kind of get a feel for that, okay? Alright, so we're going to have the feeling, okay, once again, we're going to have the feeling that our right wallet pocket's going towards the target. Yep. I want you to do that a couple times, and I want you to tell me what what you feel.
I can feel it just all down my right leg.
Right, you can feel your hamstring stretching. You can
Yeah.
probably feel a big stretch probably on the left side here
Yeah.
too, because that's that coiling motion that
Yeah.
we're getting, right?
Mhm.
So when we talk about that, and we talked about it on the previous episode, is making sure that we get that lower body to turn correctly, right?
Mhm.
And that's going to be the one of the key components, right? One is going to be our chest rotation, the other is our hip rotation, right? So if I can get you to kind of get that kind of motion more instead of kind of this guy,
Yeah.
right? Then we're going to be able to swing the club with, little work, right? Because it's already wound up.
Yeah.
But once I get over here like this, I'm going to have to kind of work, get my chest and everything, and then have my arms saved.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So with that being said, any questions on that right
No.
now? All right. So we're going to kind of give you this, and let's kind of go back to maybe hitting 5 or 6, and let's just kind of hit like some punch shots to try to get that feeling of what we're trying to do, right?
Mhm.
Feeling that hip kind of turning back behind us and keeping that arm structure in front of us, okay?
Mhm.
Great.
Still not that far up.
That's all right.
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't, does it?
No. Feels like I'm stopping like right here.
Right? But you can see how your arms are running away from you, right?
Yeah.
With that feeling that. Right, much better with the hips, as you can see with the line here, right?
Mhm.
Right, you don't see the hips sliding 6 inches this way and then sliding back.
Right.
It's kind of turning in its spot, right? So
Yeah.
as I used to tell, or I still tell my students, we want to turn around our spine, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to, get all walled out on the side. There we go. Let's go get a few. All right. Yep. Let's just hit a few punch shots and try to get that feeling. It's okay. A lot going on there. Okay, a little weight transfer there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we talk about practice, Aaron, this is probably more of the practice that we need to kind of be doing.
Okay.
Right here, small little shots, having some kind of purpose with our practice other than just hoping that we're hitting straight balls.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Good. One more here. Take a break, and then we're going to kind of work on the impact bag a little bit, kind of get that chicken wing a little bit out of the way.
Okay.
Okay. Take a break for just a second, okay? All right, so what we're going to kind of do with this drill, okay, and this is a great drill. I don't know if you've got an impact bag, or maybe if you got your wife's got a old purse in the house, you just stuff it with some stuff. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. But a few things I would kind of work on here just a little bit. So one of the things I kind of see is our face angle is usually a little bit open as we're trying to make this move a little bit.
Right.
So one thing I would kind of do, just a few of those, right? And what we'll kind of do is we're just going to kind of take it up to about hip high like we did, right? And then I want to get the toe into the back. So I really want to feel my forearms rotate on this drill. So it's here, right? And then, okay, see where I'm at right there? So I'm really excessively rotating my face.
Okay.
Okay? Now the other thing that I want you to kind of do, and this is going to work for our left arm breaking down, right? So if I kind of get you right here, right, and we don't need to kill the back, okay? I just need to kind of get you here, and then I go, and then if I had you push through the back, that's way too heavy for that. Figure out something about that. But what we want to kind of do, because my back's not nearly as heavy as that, what we want to kind of do is we want to feel like as we get here that we're pushing the bag through. Okay, so if I'm pushing that bag through, right, you can see my arm stay maintained in structure. I'm going to do something here real quick. I'm going to grab a few of these towels out that may be in there, or whatever's in there. Hopefully it's nothing too disgusting. See, didn't have to be anything fancy, right? All right, so let me see here. Club real quick. Actually, where's mine right here? This is a. All right, so if I kind of got you right here, right, and I go boom, and you see how you're pushing that bag through, that's going to help maintain that structure.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I want you to kind of do here for a couple. All right, so for the first couple, I want you to do about 5 toe into the bag. Okay. And then I want you to kind of hit it, and then I want you to kind of push the bag through. Okay. Okay. So here, we'll use this guy. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. So I want you to do about 4 or 5 here, okay? We take it up about hip high, and I want you to push the bag through, okay? And we'll reset. Okay, see how you're keeping that structure? Now let's get that right knee down. There you go, good. Okay, and don't be afraid. Have that guy just a little bit over. Okay. Okay? So as we come through here, I want you to understand. As we come through impact, toe goes left. Okay. Okay. There's no need to try to keep that face open or square. Okay. That's not going to happen for us. Okay. We want that thing to go over just like that. That's why we're doing that face rotation. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Very good. Very good. Okay. Once again. Good. All right. One more time for me. And just kind of take a notice of what your arms and chest are doing as you kind of go through this motion. Okay. Okay. And just give me some biofeedback when you get done.
I feel coming down. Trying not focusing on keeping it necessarily
square?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like, I don't know, it makes sense. Like if I'm not focused on keeping it square, I'm not really concentrating on so much I don't know, it's
okay.
Yeah, like if I'm not focusing on keeping it square, I feel like it's letting me just kind of swing
Through the ball.
in more of a natural type thing instead of a force like I gotta go this way or I gotta go. Feels just more of a natural path, I guess,
Okay.
instead of fighting the club to keep it open, and I don't feel as like tense and rigid.
Great.
As well.
Great. Those are a lot of good words. You're on the right path,
Yeah.
right? That's what we want to kind of feel, because when we're swinging at, and let's just say we're swinging a 6-iron at 78, 80 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
There's really, I mean, I don't know how it's humanly possible to honestly see the club interact with the ball,
Mhm.
right? I mean, it's happening at 1/10 of a second,
Right.
right? And then there's no way physically that I'm going to be able to, make sure that I'm keeping that club face square for that
Yeah.
amount of time. I've just got to rely on the fact that I've got the ball in the right position,
Mhm.
that I've coiled behind it, right? And if I let my body do what it naturally does, then whoever designed the club, which maybe it's Mr. Morris himself, whoever designed the club, that's how we're supposed to swing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
Mhm.
now we're starting to utilize that tool in the proper way.
Yeah.
Okay? Good. So let's hit a few more balls here. Any questions or anything I can kind of answer for you a little bit there?
No, I mean it's like taking what you think is a important piece of the puzzle, and it's like taking it out, which then feels like it starts to allow the rest of it to come together.
Yes. And I think that's a lot of things with a lot of golfers, is that they're kind of mystified by what they think is important, and then when they get with an instructor, they every time I've ever gone to a lesson with my instructor, everything that I think is important,
Mhm.
he just kind of
Yeah.
throws off to the side.
Yeah.
He says, "This is what you need to work on." I'm like,
Yeah.
I would have never gone in that direction, right? So
Yeah.
it's amazing how and it's kind of the feel versus real thing, right? Because
Yeah.
you're like, well, I feel like I'm just stopping right at my hip, right?
Yeah.
But you're really kind of, getting up a little bit higher than what it is.
Yeah.
What we kind of think and what we imagine are totally different, and it's amazing that you got to have that second pair of eyes to see what's really going on,
Yeah.
and then you kind of, then you got to get the kind of shock of reality that I'm really doing that, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and then trying to control that.
Yeah.
Good. So let's hit a few more shots here. All right, and try to put a few of these elements into play.
Okay.
Okay. And then really discuss what we need to kind of work on as far as the next level of practice and what our routines need to be. All right, just a small little punch shot here, trying to put it all together. Good. Very good. Good job. Okay, much better movement pattern there with your arms and your lower body. Okay. Good job. Face just a little bit open on that one. So what do you think you kind of did there a little bit?
On that one,
Mm-hmm.
probably pulled my heart, or when I came through. It got
It got a little
Yeah.
open, but I think we
Yeah.
kind of swayed a little bit.
okay.
Okay, I think we kind of, because when I look at your low point here, it's not as low as we'd like it, so it
Yeah.
probably, that's usually an indication, and this might be an indicator to you when you're out there, when you start to hit it kind of fat or heavy or something
Yeah.
like that, it's probably a good indicator that we kind of swayed off the ball here. So
Okay.
we've taken, our sternum right here, which is our low point, right? And if I go like this, then my low point's here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then I have to kind of match that back up.
Yeah.
Right? And if I don't do that, then it's kind of back
Yeah.
behind it, right? So we want to kind of feel like we're turning. Now our sternum does turn, right? But we don't want it to go this way.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Work. There you go. Good job of letting the club swing faster there. Face just a little bit open on that one. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So let me I'm going to just kind of demonstrate what we're going to kind of do
Yeah.
for practice purposes, okay? So when we're out there practicing and stuff like that, you can hit full shots if you want, but really to get the most out of what we're trying to do, we want to isolate a few things,
Mhm.
right? So the first thing I would kind of isolate is making sure we kind of get this backswing kind of going correct, right? So really kind of feeling like my right cheek here is going towards the target, and I'm just feeling like I'm kind of just getting to the point where I just let that left arm stay straight, hinge up just a little bit,
Mhm.
right? I don't want to get all the way back over here at this point right now, okay? I just want to kind of have a small swing, so just here, right? So if I just kind of demonstrate just like that, okay? And then as I come through here, I just want to try to focus on my shift, my lateral shift as I come through, but also trying to make sure that I maintain my arm structure as I come through, right? So I'm going to swing a little bit out towards that second baseman. I'm going to let the club pass by me, and I'm going to try to keep that structure on out here. So let's kind of do it here. Now, probably a little bit open right there if I had to make a guess. Yeah. So you'll start to get a feel for what your face is doing with this
Mhm.
little drill, right? When we get to the point where we really want to be, we want to hit little draws, right? So we want to kind of start it on the right side of this line and kind of bring it on over. So as we kind of practice, right, that's our goal, is to kind of get little small draws. Okay? See if we got that thing to draw. Yep, perfect. So that's what I'm trying to go for when I'm out there practicing,
Mhm.
okay? I'm not trying to kill the ball. I'm not trying to, put a lot of speed into it, right? So I swung that thing at 63 miles an hour, and I got almost 140 miles an hour, or 140
Right.
distance. With a 6-iron, I'm probably going to get maybe another 30, 40 yards, right? So that extra is going to give it what it has, right? But when I'm out here, right, a few things I want to see, at least for what I'm trying to do. My club path was pretty close to what my face angle was,
Okay.
right? So for me, I'm a little bit out to the right. I've got to work on that. That's my big goal.
Yeah.
But what I want to try to do when I'm out there practicing is just hit these small little draws. And that tells me a lot of what I'm doing, right? If I'm hitting small draws, it tells me that I'm keeping that here, and then as I come through, my face is rotating correctly, my path is correct, and my arm structure is maintained out here in front. If I start to do this, okay, right, where I start to kind of go to the inside here, or my left arm starts to break down, See, I start to get that,
Yeah.
that white to the right that we don't want. Okay? Does that make sense
Yeah.
right there? Okay? So why don't you come on over here and see if you can do that here with the next like 3 or 4 balls, okay? And just kind of tell me what we're kind of feeling when we do this. Any questions there, Aaron?
No.
Okay. Hit small little draws. So the path was good. Our face was just really close at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good, good. See how your arm structure staying maintained, right? Okay. Good. Your path was out to the right, your face was closed. Okay. A little bit more than what we want, but it's in the right direction. Okay. Small draws. Right. We got about 115 yards out of that shot and probably didn't really swing very hard, right?
No.
All right. So it's not about how hard we swing. Mechanics and face the path. Right, making sure we get that centerness of contact. Good job with your arm structure there. Small draw. Okay, much better with our hips, right? You can see that our arm structure staying maintained right there. Good. Much better with our weight transfer. Okay, I'd like to see that us getting onto that right toe, letting that right knee release just a little bit for us. Okay, but our arm structure up here, right? Not getting nearly that chicken wing that we were getting before, right?
Right.
Okay, so now you're letting that left elbow fold naturally instead of kind of bending back behind us. Okay? Let's do about 2 more here, then I want to discuss some things that we need to work on at home, okay?
Okay.
On the range. Any questions?
No.
Comments? Let that clip pass by you. Let it release. Go. Good swing. Good job. Good job. Okay. So let's talk about how did that one feel for us?
That felt good.
That felt good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we talk about practice, that's what I'd rather see. Is I'd like to see probably more of 40 shots like this.
Mhm.
When we practice, I would probably say, and this is how my coach would have me do it. He would say, listen, you grab 4 balls, you hit those, right, and then you take a break, right, and then you come back, right. It shouldn't be I've got an hour, I'm going to hit as many as I can,
Right.
Right. It should be I have an hour, I want to work on this, isolate this one move or whatever it may be, right? So when we start talking about that, and it'll keep our mind engaged, right?
Mhm.
I guarantee you after about 15, 20 swings, we're kind of thinking, God, I need to mow the grass, or, little Johnny's being an asshole at home, you know, whatever it may be,
Right.
you know what I mean? But our mind starts to wander a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So we need to kind of make sure that, you know, we stay focused, having a set number of balls and staying committed to that also helps us when we're out there on the course as well, okay?
Mm.
So let's talk about a few things we need to kind of address just a little bit and make sure of, okay? So first thing that we kind of talked about here was our setup, right? Making sure that when we get that grip, that thumb's on the shaft, okay?
Okay.
That our left thumb's on there. We don't want this and have that thumb on this side,
Right.
okay? This thumb is going to brace our club when we get to the top. So when I get to the top of the backswing, you can see that thumb braces it. If I lose that, then that thing's gonna start flopping
Okay.
around on it, okay? So that's the big part right there. Now, the other thing that we talked about was our arm structure here, right? I don't want my arms kind of bent out like this, okay? I want to feel like the pockets of my elbows are kind of, you know, facing more outward. So it'd be kind of more of this. So if I was kind of doing a deadlift or you know, bicep curl or something like that, that's kind of more of the arm structure I want to have, not a clean jerk. Or
Okay.
whatever it is, right? So kind of like this, and just let our arms hang naturally. We don't need to kind of force them down, and we don't need to kind of have them up, but we just need to kind of get like this. And if I just kind of said, hey, I want your palms out a little bit, and then grab the club here a little bit, then we kind of get that motion, right? So you're going to notice that the pockets of our elbow kind of point a little bit more out, and the point of our elbows point more closer towards our hips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a good guide point right there. Okay. Now, the other thing that we kind of worked on a little bit here is we got to work on our hip rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a few things that we can kind of do for that. One was the drill that we kind of worked on, where we had that right there, and getting that back behind, you can really feel that. But we need to kind of get a feeling, what is that, right? So I'm going to give you 2 drills on that. So one thing we can kind of do is you can get a rear end up against a wall,
Mm-hmm.
just as so. Okay. Get a club across our chest, or just get our arms across our chest, whatever may work for you. But what I want to kind of feel is I want to feel like my right cheek is going this way along the wall, not that way along the
Okay.
wall. So as I kind of go, right, you can feel my cheeks going this
Yeah.
way, right? For you, sometimes it's kind of more like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that cheek would kind of move more this way than it would back,
Right.
right? So I kind of get here and just kind of get that feeling, right? Like, to me, and this may work for you, it may not, it almost feels like if there was a match right here, I'm striking a match. Okay?
Okay.
Boom. Okay? So that's number one, what I would kind of do. If you have one of those chairs that swivel,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Get your rear end up to that, and when you do this, the chair's going to go this way. Okay? But for right now, what you would kind of do is that chair would kind of stay there and you move off of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number one drill that we need to kind of work on.
Okay.
Another, well, and the other thing is, you can kind of get a thing right up against your foot right here,
Mm-hmm.
and if you swing, your hip's going to be forced to go back.
Okay.
Okay, so that's more of an issue too. Now, the other part is arm structure, right? We got to maintain that arm structure in the backswing. Okay, so for us, really all we need to kind of think about is a 3/4 swing, right? And just feel like we're creating an L with this, right? So you see the little L that I'm making right here?
Mhm.
Okay, that's all we need to kind of concentrate on, right? It kind of makes a little bit of a V there, but if you kind of think about it. But for us, we just need to kind of get here, right? Arms away from our chest, as far away from our ear as possible, comfortably possible, without our arms collapsing those, okay? Now as we kind of go through, coming down, making sure that we maintain that arm structure out in front of us, and getting a good weight transfer, that's going to help us, right? So what I would suggest doing is just kind of work from here to here. Now we're going to swing up a little bit higher, because that's how we are, right? But we want to imagine that we're not swinging any higher than rib high, right?
Okay.
We're going to get higher than that, I promise you, right? We can see it in the video, right? But if I can kind of get you here and there, right, you can see a lot of good stuff starts to happen. You can see that the toe is kind of facing more this way.
Mhm.
My weight transfer is pretty good. I've got all my weight on my toe, and my right arm is fully extended as I come through. Okay, left arm is going to start to fold at this point. Okay, but we don't want it to go like this. Right,
Right.
trying to, you know, one of the things I think that we
It's
kind
almost
of
like you're, like when you have it like that, like you can see is instead of like swinging and letting the club come through, it's almost like you're pulling and trying to like push, like almost like scooping.
Or guiding.
Yeah, to try to, yeah.
Correct. And that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to control this
Yeah.
with these guys.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to control that face. I'm going to make it sure it's square. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is when we get down to that 1/10 of a second, it's square, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right? So, just like a door, at one angle, it's straight on, but once we open it, it's not square again.
Right.
Right? It's open. So it's just kind of the same concept.
Yeah.
Any questions right now?
No, because, and I get what you're saying too, it's not about the quantity of practice shots or balls that you hit, it's the quality
Well,
that you're hitting them with, and how you can maintain the proper swing, the proper structure, stance, grip, and all that, rather than being out there for an hour and a half, dripping in sweat. You're just like,
Right? But I want
there's
you.
that shot. Yeah,
I want you to think of this, right? Let's. What do you typically shoot around?
It's come down actually.
Okay.
But I'm still like I'm trying to like break. Like I'm still like trying to break 100.
Okay,
like
that's
I'm shooting
fine.
like 10, like averaging like 103, 104.
Okay. So out of those 103, 104s, right? Because you said you're at the range hitting 120 balls,
Yeah.
right? Probably throughout that whole round, you're probably swinging the club maybe 75 to maybe 80 times.
Yeah.
Right? The rest are putts.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to remember, a quarter of your shots, or a little bit more of a quarter of your shots are putts.
Yeah.
Right? So what it kind of gets to is that you're over practicing,
Mhm.
obviously, right? Because if I got you to the point where I said, hey, I want you to hit 60 balls, right? And then I put 20 putts on top of it, we're in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of more where we want to kind of be. So I'd
Yeah.
rather you kind of structure your practice to that,
Okay.
right? To how many shots that we want to kind of get and stay focused on it,
Yeah.
right? Instead of, and I guarantee you, you're just like everybody else and just like me. Once I get down, once I hit like 30 or 40 balls, it looks like that basket's growing on me. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, my God, I thought I just went through this basket, and then it just gets to the point where it's like, I'm looking at the clock, I'm like, I paid $12 for this bucket, I gotta get through
Yeah.
it, and then you just kind of, you're
Yeah.
forgetting about what you're working on.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you have like a net at home or even stuff like this, it doesn't have to be out of the driving range, but if we can just kind of make these motions and start working on those body mechanics, a lot of good things happen when we go to the driving range.
Since you got that club in your hand,
Mhm, yeah.
that's a 3-iron.
Yep.
That should be longer, right?
It should be long. What
This
size?
is a 6.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, something. Either.
So I bought that off of Second Swing,
Okay.
and I don't think I paid attention to the shaft length. I think when I bought it, it's like the shaft length, I think it was like 36 and a half or 39 and a half or something. But then when I was reading online, it's like 3-irons are usually like, I think it's like 41,
Yeah.
something like that.
So the other thing is, I see this is a hybrid shaft that they put in here. See the HY?
Yeah.
So it's a hybrid shaft. So this is, I don't know if that's, what this is it was either custom made
For someone.
for somebody, probably like a junior
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, or maybe even somebody,
Short.
a lady maybe,
Yeah.
possibly. I mean, I don't know why a lady would be getting king cobras, to be honest with you, but I would venture to guess this is probably a junior club.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put a new grip on this? Or
No.
No, that was the grip that came on it?
Yeah, I haven't changed it out when I bought it.
Okay. I would venture to guess it's probably one of two things. It's probably somebody tinkering with stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or it might have been a junior club at one time. The only thing that makes me wonder about it is it's got the big grip, which is usually more.
I haven't put that one on there.
Okay. Yeah, because usually when I see the bigger grip, that's easier. That's usually for people with big hands
Mhm.
or people with arthritis.
Yeah.
Is usually what I see. I wouldn't see a junior
No.
having that. So this is probably something for
They probably customized it for.
probably somebody, I want to hit little punch 3-irons or something, but it's a beautiful club. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a gorgeous club, but I think you're going to be, it's just way too
I
short.
think, yeah, I had that different shaft put on it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you could go, probably head up to Dick's or,
Yeah.
or something like that and
Yeah,
have them rip that.
because I just re-gripped all mine myself. So I was like, I don't want to pay Dick's.
No,
And I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and it took me 30 minutes to do all my irons and everything.
Absolutely.
To my driver.
And you get more pride in your work too,
Yeah.
right? You're like, man, look at me. I made these things. I'm ready to go use them.
That's what I was like, look what I did.
Yeah, but doesn't it just? I mean, it's got to burn your ass that when you go and take these grips in, and they go, oh, that's $110 or $120. You're like, wait a minute, dude. I just saw what you guys need to do for that.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
Yeah. So.
All right, I guess we got the next guy coming
Yeah.
in. Any questions or anything?
No. So next time because I have a feeling Silverado's gonna be closed for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Could you look at not necessarily my driver, maybe like my wood or my hybrid?
Yeah.
Because like it's stupid, but like you get tired of getting up to the tee box and like completely duffing your first tee shot or whatever, where you hit it and it just goes. Yeah.
That's very frustrating.
It is.
Extremely frustrating.
Yeah. Like it's to the point now where like I'll use my 5-iron just off the tee box just to put something in.
Just get it out there.
Yeah.
I got to get in play. I can't be out there in the neighbor's yard.
Right. And so when I would go to last time I went to the range, like I implemented some of the things we had talked about with my 'cause I got a 4 hybrid and a 3 wood, and I was doing that, and it helped, but it's still like the swing for the iron standing up. It just felt okay, but it still didn't feel natural for such a longer club.
So remember, I mean, with any of our longer clubs, we are going to have a little bit longer reach.
Right.
Okay, so don't be afraid that to allow your hands, because when I have a driver in my hands, you can see that. Just imagine it says my hands are going to be a little bit more underneath my nose, where the irons they're going to be a little bit more underneath my chin.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're absolutely going to have a little bit more of a reach, longer club.
Yeah.
Right. The big thing is you got to remember with the driver compared to the irons, right? And this is why we're trying to work on our low point with our irons. Is it's always going to be after the ball.
And like I know your driver, you're trying to swing.
Correct. So it's going to be before the ball.
Okay.
All right. So our low point should be probably about 2 or 3 inches before the ball.
Okay.
Okay. So that's going to make sure that's going to guarantee that we're hitting up on the ball.
Okay.
Okay. And when we hit up on it, it gives it kind of more of that knuckle feeling.
Yeah.
Right. Where it kind of has less spin and more launch.
Yeah.
But once I start to get my angle of attack down, right, my path is going to be left. And I'm just really, think about a car crash, I'm just coming along the side of this car and swiping it. Right. Right? Instead of smashing it straight on and sending it down the road.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll definitely look at the driver next round.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions?
No, I appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
You got it. Put some laundry back in. So I'll leave this right here for you. You got that at Dick's, you said, or?